Good morning, everyone. So last weekend I was working with the backhoe, and I was down at the bottom actually working on the road, and I moved the backhoe to the next position to work scratching out this road, and there's a hydraulic oil puddle on the ground. So I broke the backhoe again. Nothing new there. So yesterday I went through and pressure washed this back portion because I found the leak. I just wanted to get it cleaned up before I pulled the hose off. So let me show you what's went wrong. So first off, I didn't realize the backhoe was actually this yellow. It cleaned up really well with the pressure washer. So the line that failed is this one here, and that is probably because instead of going and putting it through like this one here, they tried to go through the top one, which puts a big old kink in this when the whole machine is rotated this way. So right now it doesn't look too bad, but when you're actually operating it, this hose kinks pretty bad. So this one controls the side of the boom cylinder. So basically it provides pressure to push down. So pretty important one to have. So what I'm going to do is we're going to unhook this. We're going to have to fish it through this whole hose array here. Unhook it here, and then up at the fitting there. To make things easier, I'm going to start the backhoe up and lay this boom flat on the ground, and we're parked on the edge of the hill, so I can lay the boom down even further so then I can reach even better up there. So let's get the machine fired up. Also, smoke's rolling in from nearby wildfire, so it's starting to get a little hazy here in the mornings. The back is all on the ground now, and now you can see that leak is starting to develop again. So hydraulic hoses are not supposed to bend and kink like that. Before I do anything more, I want to just turn the key to the run position, and then that unlocks the solenoid valves to move the hydraulic controls, and that allows me to make sure I don't have any pressure on the cylinder anymore, so when I go to take this off it doesn't blow oil into my face. See that move there? Just had a little bit of pressure on it. Okay, the hose is free now, so what I'm going to do is reach in there and crack that fitting loose, and hopefully it's an O-ring Boss face fitting, so as soon as you break it free, it normally can spin off almost by hand. So I just didn't have quite enough leverage to get this broken free. So I stuck a pry bar in there and worked it, because there's no way to grab it because this outrigger frame is right next to it. So you always want to be really careful when you're working with hydraulics, because you get a hydraulic fluid injection into your fingers, it can be amputations or death pretty rapidly, depending on how fast you treat it. That basically comes when hydraulic fluid has enough pressure to slice through and push oil into your underneath your skin. So always make sure you're working with no pressure before you stick your fingers anywhere. It'll work as long as we don't bump it. Helps if you're going the right way. Also probably helps to be working on something after you've been awake for more than a half hour. I just got up, by the way. So we got the hose out. It looks like it's going to be a spendy one. I don't know if they'll have this fitting in town locally, so I'll basically tell them to give me enough extra hose to make this work if they don't. Or even just have the 45 would be fine. But yeah, we're gonna go get this thing thrown in a bag so it doesn't make a mess in our Jeep, and then we'll go to town and get this made up. Good evening, guys. It's the same day, but I ran to town after work and grabbed myself a new hydraulic hose. It only set me back $350 or something like that. Absolutely ridiculous. And the thing about it is, too, is the expensive part are the fittings at the end. The hose itself isn't terrible, though this is a heavier pressure hose, which is rated for... So yeah, this hose is a little bit heavier. Well, I think it's 4-wire instead of 2-wire. So that means it has a rating of 5,500 psi. And the reason you need that is because this cylinder, which is the boom cylinder, under a ton of pressure and it flows quite a bit of fluid. So unfortunately, it's like one of the most expensive hoses on the backhoe. So anyhow, let's get this thing hooked up. Also, they didn't have the fancy offset fitting at the end, so I made it a little bit longer and just did a straight fitting off of it. So hopefully that will work for what we're doing. So I didn't realize that the fitting I got for this end isn't a swivel, so I have to get it all adjusted right, and we'll tighten that down at the end. So I have the hose hooked up loosely, but I'm going to pull all of, there's a whole bunch of stuff packed underneath these hoses on the boom that I just want to get cleaned out. Like all this. So I'm just going to tighten these down just snug. That way when I do my test run, if some hose isn't in the right spot, it can pull through and readjust itself. Okay, my hands are finally clean enough to hold the camera, so I'm going to show you what I got done here. So I rerouted these hoses after we cleaned them up. I organized them the most logical way I can based on what they're crossing and what they're doing in here to try to keep as many hoses in a straight line as we can. Up here we moved this hose, which was the one we replaced, from the top one down to this one here. I'm going to try this first. We're going to swing all the way to the driver's side of the machine. Then I'll tighten this down, and then when I swing all the way the other way, I want to see how this hose reacts. I might have to move it either to a different spot or leave this loose so it can pull through. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do there. I don't know how much of a difference that offset's going to make. I mean, they put the offsets in there for a reason, but yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure exactly if it's going to work or not. Well, it looks like my SD card filled up partway through this. I don't know how much I captured. I was kind of in the moment, and when I have nasty, greasy hands, I don't check the camera very much. I think this will work. The hose slides back and forth a little bit, but all of them do the same thing. I'll just watch. If I start to develop a kink on this, then I'll have to figure out something. The problem is that those offsets, I don't know, some of these have offsets separate to the hoses, like these hoses here have a screw in right there. So maybe I can find that for this size also, but I don't know for sure. I'm half tempted to get armoring, so it's like the spiral wrap stuff for all these hoses, and then basically just take this bracket off and let them go free in here, and then maybe even zip tie them all together so they move as one bunch. I don't know if that would work or be any better, but right now basically all of them have damage in here, and it doesn't help that someone spliced a hose right in the middle of this clamp, right where everything has to move. So I'm sure I'll be in here again. If I blow another hose, what I'm probably going to end up doing is I have to see if I can even crimp onto an old hose, but crimp a connector right here, so then the next time it blows, so like hopefully in 40 years or whatever, fingers crossed, I'm only replacing like a 4-foot hose instead of a 10 or 12 or 15-foot hose that goes all the way up. So I don't know, this isn't my favorite design that I've ever seen. These hoses move quite a bit and bend quite a bit in this coupling. So if anybody knows any tricks for how to make these hoses last longer in the pivot of the backhoe, let me know. Like I said, the best thing I can think of is to remove that bracket and armor the hoses and zip tie them all together so they move as one mass, because there's quite a bit of give and take in this coupling here. And I've also found that these hoses, when the bucket's all the way up, they hang down lower than the knuckle. And I haven't really thought about that, so I've been backing into things, but that could really damage the hoses too. So from now on, I'm going to treat this knuckle as a no contact area. Anyhow, this was a quick fix. It didn't take too long for us to get this all done, and it wasn't too much heartbreak. It's expensive compared to a lot of the other repairs that took way longer. This one was much more expensive, but anyhow, that's life when you have heavy equipment, is you're gonna have some breakdowns. If you've made it to this point in the video, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you want to help out the channel, the best way to do that is just to hit that like button. It tells YouTube that this content is worth sharing to other people. So if you haven't already, now is a great time to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and hopefully more videos of me using the backhoe, not just fixing it. But yeah, if you want to support the channel in a more direct way, the best way to do that is through either YouTube channel memberships or through our Patreon. I want to thank all of you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Later.